done with my night here in Wrightwood and I'm ready to get back out on the trail. Just packing up my things here and then I'll get a ride. I do Baden-Powell today, so I'm a little bit nervous about that. I don't know what to expect as far as snow levels and how sketchy or dangerous it's going to be. I know that you can't follow the trail exactly and people are cutting straight up it, so probably going to be a little on the stressful side, but I know I can get through it. I forgot to tell a story of some import actually, and I just realized, man, I hadn't recorded anything on this and needed to share it because it's important. A while back, past when I was passing Silverwood Lake, the place I had a little lunch at, I got a campground there that I'd read up on, and it said that, hey, it has bathrooms, has showers, it has all kinds of cool things. So I thought that'll be a good place to stop. It's about the last place I could stop before I pressed on to the next area. So stopped there. Of course, bathrooms, showers, they're all locked. It did have running water though, so that was good. But I thought, well, okay, well, where does one go to the bathroom around here? So I started wandering around the area and was following this kind of asphalt path that was at the campground. And I noticed a little feline figure. I thought, was that a juvenile mountain lion? What is that? And it quickly ducked into the bushes. So of course I followed it down. I wanted to see if I could see what it was, and with the camera at the ready. And when I peeked in, I saw his little furry face in there, just kind of lounging. He didn't realize that I was seeing him and recording him. And as I got a little bit closer, he saw me seeing him, of course, and like, ooh, I don't like that. He turned and leapt away, and that's when I saw his little bobtail. So I knew he wasn't a mountain lion, he was a little bobcat. And so that's pretty cute. So I thought, oh, that's cool, and I've actually got some video of him. So I go back to the campground, and a little later we're sitting around with some other hikers that are there. There's a bunch of benches, and they are all talking about someone saw a bear on the trail and how going over that. And I said, well, hey, if you want, there's a bobcat in the bushes down there. And that caused some ruckus, like, what, a bobcat in the bushes? And so that was kind of funny, and everyone talked about that for a bit. Well, someone had posted in our Gut Hook app that they had ordered a pizza. There must be a pizza parlor near Silverwood Lake or something, and said they'd ordered a pizza and had it delivered to this campground. So a woman, Noelle, and her husband decided, hey, we're going to order a pizza. Does anyone want to go in on it together? And some people were saying, oh, I'll throw in a couple bucks for a soda, this, that, and whatever. So she's kind of making the rounds on there, and she turned to me and she says, Bobcat? And it hit me for a moment. I was like, oh, well, Bobcat will have the meat lover special, of course. So I kind of responded to that and, tried to make a little joke out of it. But I realized, oh, she called me Bobcat, and I responded to Bobcat. So therefore, Bobcat's my trail name. So that was kind of exciting. So I officially have a trail name now, and it is Bobcat. And so I'm starting to use it with people and put it in registries and everything. So that's how it happens. It's kind of funny how you get your name. But it's a good story. Good thing to think about before heading on out up the mountain. And hopefully it'll be a uneventful day. There's Baden-Powell. Not as snowy as I was worried about, so at least we can get up a good portion of it, but it's snow across the top, so could be interesting. Well, I made it the 5 and something miles to Vincent Gap, which is a gap between the mountains that Highway 2 runs through, and gonna stop here for a moment, get a drink, and then start cruising up the mountain. Kind of a nice little warm-up walk before summit the mountain. It's not looking too bad right now, but wait until I see what it looks like up there. Well, the snow's there, so I'm going to sit down, put on my microspikes, and get ready to go. Luckily, I found a guy to hike with, and then there are some other people up on the mountain at the same time. A couple people were dropped off while we were having a snack, and they said, our friend fell and had to be evac'd out of here. He's okay apparently, but he scraped his arm up pretty well. So that's always nice to hear when you're just starting, but time for Bobcat to put on his claws. I made it up to the Lamel Spring. Lamel, I assume that's how you say it. Turn off, which is 1.7 miles up. The snow's been patchy, but hasn't been too bad to go over with microspikes. 2.2 miles to the summit, and I see clear trail right now. Hopefully it's just spotty like this, although that's not what I've been reading, is that at some point it becomes solid snow. Then it gets more fun, but it's been pretty good thus far. We've reached the part of the trail where we're just going straight up the mountain. It's not too scary though. I don't see any cliffs, so I hope I still continue to not see cliffs. Made it to the top. Well, technically the top's up there, but I'll do that next. And here is the real top. Well, successfully summited and came down off Baden-Powell yesterday. It was really pretty up there. I didn't get a bunch of video coming down. A lot of snow and a lot of room to slip, so I didn't want to do like the friend of those two people that came down and talked and start slipping and fall down one of those tall snow fields. It'd be easy to do when you're tired and snow starts getting slushy, and as it started getting into the afternoon, that's what started happening. A lot of bushwhacking, but made it. Slept last night at Little Jimmy Campground, which is an odd name, but nice campground. Had actual pit toilets and had bear boxes that you could put your food in, because apparently bears are a problem here. Pretty good. It was cold out, but I didn't sleep cold last night, so I'm thankful for that. Ready to get up and move on. Today get to do the endangered species bypass. I guess we're going around the mountain yellow-legged frog, I think, and have to do a little highway walking today, which is never a fun thing, but after that, should be fairly straightforward. I was glad to see that the summit of Mount Baden-Powell wasn't as bad as I was worried it was going to be. There were a few spots, especially on the downhill, where you hold your breath a little bit, because if you slip, you're going to go down the snow chute. But going up wasn't too bad, other than, you know, the Herculean effort it took to go straight up the side of the mountain in snow in a steep incline. Suppose there, if you slipped, and I did see a couple slides where it looks like someone had slipped, and you're gonna go 40-50 feet at least before you stop, unless something stops you before then. So I was real careful going up, and I can't imagine doing it without microspikes. I saw some people going up without microspikes, but man, talk about slippery. But good time at the top, and not as scary, and not even as bad as San Jacinto. That was actually more grueling because it was longer. But all that being said, I'm glad to have Baden-Powell in the rearview mirror. So at this point, we shall not pass and must road walk. And of course, it looks like there's a really wide margin on the road. That'll be fun. I was initially concerned that it's gonna have to be dodging a bunch of cars coming down the road, but I've walked for over a mile on this road and seen one car at this point. So it seems like this is the perfect time to do road walking. This has actually been kind of a fun walk. There were only 2 cars on Highway 2, which seems kind of fitting. And now I'm on to some little side road. Apparently it's a drive-in access point to get to this campground area. There'll be a trail at the end of this, I guess. And once you get up there, that rejoins the PCT. And the bypass around the mountain yellow-legged frog will be complete. It's been nice today with a little bit of lower wind. At least, well, when it was up on the mountain, there was plenty of wind. But down here along the road and in these trees, just get a little bit of warmth and just a tad bit of wind. It's been comfortable, put it that way. So I'm not baking, nor am I freezing my butt off. Well, I'm on Buckhart Trail, which is the little trail that comes off that campground and goes back up to the PCT, or down to it. And thus far, it's only gone downhill, so we do need to go downhill from where we're at, since we're up in the mountains. So maybe it's a downhill trail. I'd take that. But it's a nice little trail. It goes along the edge of a stream, so you get to listen to that. So altogether, not a bad detour.